see you again. I'm Eithne the adventurer. And oh my, I am sleepy. It must be the change in the seasons is starting to affect me. Well, with the days getting shorter and the nights getting longer, I just want to curl up in front of a cosy warm fire with a warm drink and have a nap. But we have no time for that, park rangers. We have work to do and you have things to learn. Okay, are we ready to get started? Time to give us a big stretch. Head, shoulders, knees and toes. Well, it has long been said that there's no such thing as bad weather, just bad clothing. So, this applies to animals too. Let me tell you a story about a little squirrel named Sam. Now, one day I was out walking my dog called Sandy, and Sam, who was a very active little squirrel, often liked to tease puppies in the park, knowing full well that they would want to catch his big fluffy tail. As the nights were getting longer and the parks were closing earlier and the trees were shedding all their delicious nuts, Sam was eating more and more and more. And as he did, he was getting more and more and more round. With no dogs around to chase him, he was not as quick as on his feet anymore, and he began getting tired more quickly. One day, when I was in the park with Sandy, Sandy saw Sam, and he took off, and he almost caught him, and Sam was lying on the ground. I was so worried. Sandy came back because he knew his name, and he was still on the lead. When I went over to inspect Sam, I realised that he was not hurt, but he was just super sleepy. And that's when I realised that Sam, the squirrel, was on his way to his very first hibernation. So, what is hibernation? Hibernation is the way that some animals deal with the harshness of the winter. Some curl up in a safe place until the winter ends. Hibernating animals seem almost dead. They barely breathe and their body temperature is nearly freezing. In the warmer weather, they return to their regular activities. Animals that hibernate are called hibernators. They include bats, hedgehogs, squirrels, lots of other animals. Can you think of any? Hibernators like to be in the dark, in the winter time, in quiet homes. Some go underground and some go into caves or hide in the grass and underneath materials. They prepare for the winter by eating extra and like to store extra fat all around them so that whenever they're sleeping and they're not eating, that can keep them going. Now, some animals like to rise during the winter and eat little nibbles. Animals like the squirrels prepare for winter with extra eating. They store fat that'll keep them alive during the months when they do not eat. Some hibernators collect and store food before hibernating, and at times during the season, these animals rise up and eat and then return back to sleep. Their body responds to the weather conditions. If the weather becomes too cold, then the animal gets up and has a little move around to raise its body temperature. Like whenever we do star jumps, or if we run on the spot. It means that we can get nice and cozy and toasty and warm again. If the animal does not get up and move around, they could die. The warmer temperatures tell the animal to come out of hibernation again. So how does hibernation differ from sleep? Many animals just save energy in the winter by sleeping more. These animals are not truly hibernating. When an animal just sleeps, its body temperature does not drop as much. In addition, noise can wake a sleeping animal who's not a hibernator. There are many examples of animals who change their activities in the winter, but are not true hibernators. They spend most of the winter asleep. Their body temperature barely drops, but they will move around if woken up. Like, for example, a bear. But I don't think you'll have too much trouble with them around here. Also, females still give birth and nurse during this time. There are other forms of hibernation. Only certain mammals are true hibernators. Other animals do something similar. Many reptiles and amphibians from milder climates become completely inactive in the winter. And frogs and toads rest in holes or in mud at the bottom of the pond. Snakes may crowd together in caves. I don't know if I'd like to go there. And many insects and spiders, they're frozen solid in the winter time. Although I think I've been seeing quite a lot of large spiders around my house recently. So, during the winter, it can be natural to be a little bit more sleepy. Anyway, park rangers, it's time for me to go. I hope that you enjoyed today and that you know lots and lots about all the other animals and their hibernation. I hope to see you soon. Bye!